Well, ladies and gentlemen, there we had it, a very interesting video highlighting the significant role that Erasmus Plus plays in our educational landscape. And as you just saw, ladies and gentlemen, through the Erasmus Plus initiative, we will continue to build bridges of knowledge and innovation to enrich the academic as well as the cultural experience of our students and our staff. Now, if you are looking at your agenda, you would notice that our next address is supposed to be by our State Minister of Higher Education, who is Honorable Dr. Suren Raghavan. Our Honorable State Minister will be here very shortly, and we will have the pleasure of hearing from him then. But for now, we will move to the next item on the agenda. It's my pleasure now to introduce to all of you our next esteemed speaker, who is Dr. Johann Hesse, the Head of Cooperation at the EU Delegation to Sri Lanka and Maldives. Dr. Hesse has been a pivotal figure in fostering cooperation and strengthening ties between the European Union and our region, and we're privileged to have him here with us today to share his insights and perspectives on the Erasmus Plus initiative as well as its impact on higher education here in Sri Lanka. So with that being said, ladies and gentlemen, to now address the gathering, let's put our hands together for Dr. Johann Hesse.
Ladies and gentlemen, good morning to all of you, professors and esteemed guests this morning. I also like to acknowledge His Excellency Ambassador Virasana in Brussels, who is connected online. It's a pleasure to be with all of you here this morning for this very exciting day to learn more about Erasmus Plus. And before we say anything else, I'd like to acknowledge the hard work of the Ministry of Education actually to make this possible, despite all the challenges that we know about. Special thanks also to my colleague Eugenio, who come all the way from Brussels to organize this and give his input into this day. And thanks to all of you, professors, lecturers, who come from far to participate in this event. So what is this all about? We know that every education system like to be modern, like to be ahead of the curve, if you like. And on the European Union side, we are very happy to have our capacity building for higher education program under Erasmus to do exactly this, to help to modernize, to reform higher education institutions, to assist in developing new curricula, improving governance, building relationships between higher education institutions, with enterprises, and so on and so forth. So it is a great program worldwide, and we are very proud to have it. And as you have already heard in the little video clip here, here in Sri Lanka we have received some proposals in the past. 6 projects were selected for funding over the last 6 or 7 years. So I think the message is clear. There is room, there's room for more. And that's one of the real important things I wanted to say to you, apart from welcoming you here. There's room for more cooperation. And we have seen that there is interest, obviously. This full room here is testimony to that. The interest is definitely there. So the question then is, what needs to be done? So I don't think we need to encourage you, or we need to sort of make some marketing here, or public relation or something. The interest is there. The question is, what needs to be done? And that, ladies and gentlemen, has to do with the question, actually, what are the challenges? Why are there not more applications? Of course, my dear colleague who spoke earlier already highlighted some of the challenges. You mentioned something about MOUs and some red tape. And I'm very happy that the Honorable Ambassador in Brussels is listening, because I think between that level of the institution, Minister of Foreign Affairs, ourselves also, this is something that we of course take back home from this, and we can look into this, what can be done. But I think the red tape is probably not so much on our side. I have a bit of a sense that it might also be on the Sri Lanka side. So, Honorable Ambassador, if you are connected to this call early morning in Brussels, take note. We'll come to you soon to discuss what we can do. Now, the red tape is probably only one challenge, ladies and gentlemen. There might be other issues. Capacities in the universities to write good proposals, to compete with others is probably also part of it. And I'm sorry to say that the brain drain that we have all seen in recent years probably didn't help either. So it's also a bit the question of what we can do to really attract people and make them stay and work with you. We have also heard that there are sometimes visa problems. So if people working on programs, everything, all the ducks are on the row and they're ready to travel somewhere, then we hear there are visa problems. So definitely also something on our side we're happy to take up and see what can be done to avoid that. There's no magic with visas, you know that, but there is a few things I believe we can all do to avoid problems in this way. But as I said, the interest is there, and we also know that you have good universities. You have many state universities and private universities that are excellent, that can do the job, and you do produce world-class research and students. One of the vice chancellors of a university that I don't want to mention now said to me he was producing export quality research and export quality students. I leave it to you to imagine what he meant by that, by these export quality students. But I think the issue is that you have very good universities, you can do the job. And so the question is, what can we do now to get more cooperation between EU institutions, EU universities, and Sri Lankan institutions? For us, it's very much an issue of connectivity. We like to connect more the European Union with Sri Lanka. So the issue of research and mobility of universities and working together here is a very, very important part of this connectivity. So we are here today to learn some good examples, I believe, on issues about tourism, energy, what is the other one? Environment, and also health. So we'll listen, we'll hear some good examples of some proposals and some good work that's being done on those specific sectors. And I hope that it will inspire others, and there can be some lesson learned, basically, so that those of you who are interested in this as well will find a way to have a successful round of applications with us. I was told the next info day is also happening more concretely on the next call in November, I believe, and the next deadline actually for the next round of proposals actually is February next year, if I'm not mistaken. So just to keep in perspective also this, where we are today, and where you have to work towards to in terms of objectives. So with that, I stop here. Thank you very much for your attention, and I really, really hope that this will be a very, very useful day today to learn some practical things from those colleagues who have already made it, so that we can have more programs and more connectivity, basically, between the EU and Sri Lanka in the future. So thank you very much, and let's have a very good meeting today. Thank you.
Thank you very much to Dr. Johann Hesse for that very insightful address, and I'm sure I speak for all of us when we say that we are very grateful for the support of the European Union in our educational endeavors, and we do look forward to continued collaboration that will further drive advancements in our higher education sector.